So the other day I was scrolling through Mario renders as I normally do, and I started thinking about how weird some of these renders are. There's such a wide variety of these Mario renders, and they're too good to be kept to myself. So today I wanted to go through some of Mario's best renders throughout the years. So what exactly do I mean by a render? Well, basically just any piece of Mario art that's been used for the games. A little known fact about Mario is that he was initially named Jumpman in the Donkey Kong arcade games. Mario kind of started out as this greasy little slime ball of a man. He's a lot rougher around the edges, and you can really tell that he came from this time period. This is probably the most different Mario's ever looked, and it's a bit of an interesting time for him. There's even art of him abusing Donkey Kong. After Donkey Kong though came the Mario Bros games, where Mario got a little bit more of his iconic look. We're still not really there, but we're getting a bit closer. But finally we get to Super Mario Bros, where we get the iconic Mario render. You probably know this render from your friend who owns too many gaming shirts. It's a pretty good render, to be fair. We kind of start getting that iconic Mario look. He's got a few differences, like his overall colors and his overall body shape, but we're starting to get there. Super Mario Bros had a few pieces of art, but this is easily the most iconic one. And for this video, we're only looking at Mario. If there's anyone else, I'm censoring them. If you want to see other characters, then you have to subscribe to the channel. The Lost Levels has another piece of iconic Mario art. I would say most of the NES era Mario art looks pretty similar until we get to Super Mario Bros. 3. I would say this is where Mario finally gets his iconic look. He's got the blue overalls, his shape is pretty much there, it all looks really good. I like the Super Mario Bros. 3 art a lot. It's the one they kind of try to replicate now the most, and it looks really good. The Mario Land art has Mario as this little guy. I like this portrayal of him, especially because of how he looks in the game. Super Mario World kind of continues the art style that Mario Bros. 3 had. Really, most of the SNES era did. Most of this art is pretty consistent. Some a little too consistent. I like the pieces with Mario doing weird things like painting or composing. There's a lot of these in this generation. There's even MVT Mario. What more could you ask for? Super Mario Kart also has some really good renders in it too. Again, kind of the same style, but they portrayed it really well. All I'll say is these renders are a lot better than anything else Super Mario Kart has in it. Now, if you want a really interesting piece of art, look at Mario's Time Machine. They got wacky with this one. I don't really know what to think about it. This piece from Mario Clash goes really hard though. Really good action shot for a really good game. But now we're on to Super Mario 64, which is where art starts getting weird. At this point, they kind of stopped doing 2D art for the game because, well, you gotta show that it's a 3D game. And what better way to do that than with these crusty Mario renders? This one is awesome. I get why they use this one for Smash 64, it looks really good. The rest kind of just look like they took the model and put it in a random position though. None of these look terrible, especially for the first time Mario's been in 3D. There are a lot of these though. I'll put a lot of them on screen and you can choose your favorite. I like how pissed he is in this one. Mario has a few pieces of art in Smash 64, which is kind of a more simplistic style. It's some really good 2D art, which is kind of surprising for a 3D game. But I guess it makes sense since Smash Bros. Isn't really 3D. Mario Party 2 has some really good art because of its costumes. I especially like Western Mario, he's one of the best. Paper Mario's got a lot of good art, but after the original game, it starts just looking like he actually does in the game. It's a little less interesting, but it all looks really good. The Mario Advance games have Mario in this kind of squished down form. It makes sense since it's a handheld game, so he's gonna be a bit smaller on there. I think it works for some piece of art, and then for others, not so much. Alright, but now we're on to the GameCube, which had a really big jump for Mario renders. These don't really look like an idea of Mario, they kind of just look like actually Mario now. Which is a bit more than I could say for the Mario 64 renders. Mario Sunshine had some really good poses, but one thing I noticed is they really like using motion for some reason. It's kind of just an interesting quirk for its art. After Mario Sunshine though is what I like to call the harsh shadow era of Mario art. Basically most of the art during this time has some really harsh shadows on Mario. It gives it a really unique look and I kind of really like it. This era gave some of the most iconic Mario renders. Some of these are really awesome. There's too many to pick from. Thumbs up Mario, arms crossed Mario, hat tipping Mario, DDR Mario? Yeah, I think it's impossible to beat this era. But something that comes close is any of the art from the Mario and Luigi series. These games have some of the best art styles for their renders. They look really good. I especially like the Dream Team ones where they have this blue outline. I think it works really well for them. It's such a unique take on the Mario art style and I think it almost always looks good. Now for Brothership, I'm kind of mixed on it. For this, they went 3D with their art style, which I think looks pretty good in the game, but for the renders, I don't know. There's something about those 2D art models that you can't really replicate with cel-shaded models. Not to say that they look bad at all, just not as good as they used to. Another series with a really unique art style is the Mario Striker series. These ones look sick. This is probably the series with the actual best Mario art. I'm really glad they kept it up for every single game. They all look really good. Another Mario Sports series with pretty interesting art is the one we're all thinking of, Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Mario has little dash marks on his hat, and that's about it. Mario Galaxy has some really good renders. I think they realized you can use colors other than black for shading here, and they use blue instead, which looks really good. Fits the space theme a lot, and there's a lot of really good poses here too. These are easily the best looking 3D Mario models up until this point, no contest. It seems like they finally hit their stride with doing Mario art, and then they immediately made New Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is where art goes to die. Look at these renders. There is just nothing interesting about these at all. Except for Standing Mario, of course. Alright, we gotta go to something more interesting. Mario and Sonic. These ones are awesome because they have Mario doing the most random sports you can think of. Skiing Mario is absolutely amazing, and I refuse to believe otherwise. Mario Galaxy 2 is pretty consistent with 1 with its renders. They're about the same quality, but pretty much all of them just have Yoshi in them. I mean, whoops, this is only on Mario, censor that. 200,000 likes for the Yoshi video. Moving on to the 3DS, we have Super Mario 3D Land. Alright, this might just be me, but I really don't like these renders for some reason. Something just looks really slightly off about Mario, and I don't like it. I really hope this wasn't just me, or I wrote this email for nothing. I have the same problem with Mario Kart 7 too. Something about these 3DS renders I just don't like. I think they're just close enough to being really high quality, but don't hit the mark and create kind of an uncanny valley. Or maybe I've been looking at too many Mario renders in the past 2 hours. Nah. New Super Mario Bros. 2, again, same problem, I hate it. One thing I noticed about this era is that they started making art of Small Mario. Something you don't really see much because Small Mario is a really weird concept if you think about it. I'm kind of surprised they made any, to be honest. 3D World had some really high quality Mario renders. Nothing super cool or anything, if anything these are just super overused, but they do look really high quality. Pretty much the whole Wii U era was kind of like this. Nothing super cool, but it all looks pretty good. I of course like the Mario Maker render a lot. These Mario Tennis Ultra Smash renders actually do look pretty good. Super Mario Run renders just look fake to me, I don't know. I think these ones get used a few too many times. Mario Party the Top 100 has this render with Mario in an awesome suit. Even if the game sucks, I think it was all worth it for this. But then we have the Switch where Mario finally has detailed hair. I know I was waiting for it as we all were, and I'm just super happy we finally got there. I remember people going crazy because they found Mario had like one gray hair in some render. But yeah, all these look pretty good. He's a lot more detailed than before, but not in a Super Smash Bros. Brawl kind of way. You can tell he's wearing denim, but it's not too denim. One thing they did start doing in this era was remaking old Mario renders. A lot of the iconic GameCube ones got remade with better models. And by better, I mean better quality. I like the original art of these a lot better. There's something about this pissed off, shady Mario that you can't replace. Speaking of old Mario styles coming back, they did start using the old 2D art again. Whenever they use the 2D art style, it looks really good. In fact, I kind of wish they used it more. And I especially wish they used something like it for Mario Wonder. Mario Wonder has some of the weirdest renders I've ever seen. You look at the game and it looks amazing. These stylized models that are made to look like 2D characters. Then you look at the box art and it looks like this. It's like a weird, messed up middle ground between 2D and 3D Mario. It just looks really weird. I think this is them not having enough confidence that an interesting looking Mario could sell, so they had to make it look boring in some way. But finally, more important than anything else, Mario has an official Minecraft skin. And it's awesome. And that's just a brief history of Mario renders. Before we go, I want to go through a quick top 10 of my favorite Mario renders. Number 10, Beach Mario. An absolute classic which everyone remembers when it came out. One of the most unique pieces of Mario art, and you get to see his nipples. Number 9, Super Mario Odyssey main art. This is just a good piece of art. I like Super Mario Odyssey a lot, so I kind of had to rank it high. Number 8, any piece of art from Mario and Luigi. I couldn't really pick one here, and I got tired of looking at Mario, so just pick your favorite. I'd probably go with one from Dream Team. Number 7, this piece of art from Mario Galaxy. I like the posing a lot, the shading's really good, and it's just an overall good piece in general. Number 6, Mario looking up. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of dark shaded Marios in here, but they are the best. This is just a classic, I had to put it in here. Number 5 is a tie between Arms Crossed Mario and Thumbs Up Mario. I couldn't decide which of these to put in, and I didn't want to cut Beach Mario, so I'm putting them both in here. 2 more awesome pieces of art from the GameCube era. Number 4, Western Mario. Yeah, you knew who he was gonna be on here. He's just too cool not to include. I don't know which of these poses are better, but they're both awesome. Number 3, Mario staring straight at you. An absolute classic Mario picture, you can't replace this one. No matter how many times they try to replace it, this original picture is always going to be the best. Just an absolute menacing force. Number 2, any piece of art from Mario Strikers. Yeah, these are all so sick. Mario Strikers has such a cool and unique art style, it works really well for Mario. But of course, nothing can beat number 1, Dance Dance Revolution Mario. This one's got everything, shady Mario, the awesome pose, him looking menacing, it's too good. Give it up for the best Mario render ever. And make sure to tell me in the comments what your favorite Mario render is. Thanks for watching this video, make sure to subscribe and let me know if you want me to do this with other characters. I thought it was fun looking back at this and I know Luigi has some good ones. Anyway, see you next time.